All right? One of the things that we're going to cover, this drum, the placement of it's critical as far as where it sits on top of that case. How come?
Because it's up.
Okay, pretty hard for it to do that, Dave.
Yeah.
The problem you get into is
It won't shift right.
it won't shift right. The old 4-speeds, the old pancake shifters were horrible this way. Okay? I don't know, Rudy, have you ever done any of those?
Ratchet top?
Ratchet tops.
You just have to time them. That was.
Remember having to grind off the doggone paws on the thing?
It was a headache.
Yeah. Okay. These are a lot better. Okay? But on the one end of this thing, right in here, when we take it apart, you're going to see a snap ring there. There's going to be a thick washer, and then there's going to be a shim. Okay? There again, this is something that's really misunderstood out in the field as far as setting these things up. Okay? It's really important that you get that thing within spec. Okay? The other thing that happens, originally, these blocks that mounted this shift drum, okay, they rotated in a set of bushings on the older ones.
Hey, what?
They rotated in a set of bushings, bronze bushings. What's in them now?
Bearings on it?
Now they got needle bearings in them. There again, aftermarket came out with it long before Harley did. I don't think Harley went needle bearing on those things until 01 or 02, and I think it was Baker that actually came out with the blocks with needle bearings in them. Okay, and then Harley finally went to it.
What year was that?
I want to say 01 or 02 was the start of it. Keep losing my arrow here. Okay. The shift forks have got pins that fit into the slots. As the drum rotates, the pin has to follow, right? What happens if it don't?
Don't shift.
Broken fork.
You wind up with a broken fork or a bent fork. How much do one of these forks have to be bent before it jumps out of gear?
Not too much.
Yeah, very little. One of the things that I found humorous, when Harley-Davidson built the B motor in 2000, the balance motor, they couldn't get them to shift. How come? No. You literally couldn't get one of those bikes to shift. The first ones that were out there. Nobody knows that one, huh? B motors, what's different about the B motor?
Counterbalanced.
Right. It
Well,
took so much vibration out of the things that they couldn't get the damn things to shift. Okay? Does everybody understand what the term undercutting is?
No.
Okay. We're going to cover that as we tear these things apart. Basically, your gears, as they engage with each other, okay, they've got fingers on the gears, right? Those gears are cut at angles to help hold them in place. The more pressure you put on them, the harder they're supposed to hold themselves together. The drag bikes, we used to have to send our stuff to Star Racing. They would undercut the gears. They'd take them from a 15-degree angle to a 25. We were working the pieces so hard, they were flexing so hard, that they would literally take and jump out of one gear, and it was so violent that it would go into the next gear, or it would catch two at once. The other modification that they do on the race gearboxes, in order to get them to shift better, they'll cut every other dog off, and then undercut the living hell out of them. That way they have twice the space in between. Kawasaki's second gear, this was a real common deal in order to get them to shift. I'm trying to think who the zippers. You can have your whole transmission sent back, blueprinted, and the gears undercut. So they'll actually lock in and they'll shift better. Huh? Zippers is a company. I'm surprised that you being a parts guy, you haven't heard of them.
Well, the service manager, Bill, he mentions